It's not a deal breaker, but I'm 99.9% of the time don't want pulp.
If it's one of those a lot of pulps, it's a problem. But if it's like a some pulp,
I'll do a some pulp.
Yeah, I'll live if I fuck up and get some pulp.
Sure.
I'm like, okay.
If I don't have a choice.
Right. If I'm at someone's house and it's breakfast and we're having breakfast and they only have some pulp, I'm not gonna be like, what the fuck? Where's your no pulp?
Yeah.
No, I'm gonna leave and go get the one with no pulp and come back.
Excuse me. Can you please keep my sandwich here nice and warm for me while I go get no pulp?
Just pop in the microwave and I'll be back.
What an ass. At least they could do is ask before I show up.
It's true.
Oh, man.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, I got unplugged. Hold
I
on.
wish I was unplugged.
What are they on? TBS?
Yes. Glaber just went the distance just to fly out.
Very close.
Everybody got super jumpy.
Yeah, the cameraman went up.
Danny, what's the number on TBS?
552.
Daniel. Coming in clutch.
And the Rangers are 570.
They're not on MSG. I thought they were on MSG. But
no, they're on ESPN.
They did the pregame. I know they were on ESPN, but I saw they did the pregame, so I kind of thought maybe they were doing a 1-1 for the first night.
Nah.
But anywho, welcome to episode 337, SND Podcast. 10 years ago today, two young lads were like, let's BS. Instead of Google Chats, let's just take it on the radio.
Yeah. Pretty quiet. Crazy. Pretty crazy.
We were instant messaging all day, Vin, of sports. And then we're like, hey.
We should just talk about it?
We should just do it and record for people, for the millions of people that listen every day.
The millions of people in Ashburn, Virginia.
What is the population?
When Ashburn, Virginia was just a twinkle in our eye.
Westburn, Virginia / snacks.
Yeah.
Sorry.
44,090 people as of 2020.
All right.
That's how many people are in Ashburn, Virginia.
Shout out to them.
44,000. To 90 of them.
Shout out to the Ashburners.
Shout out to the 90 of them that actually listen to us.
Yep.
Anchor doesn't break it down that far. I guess I never noticed it.
Excuse me.
Maybe. We could find that on the new way of listening as of the 10th of October. On Amazon Music. Or what's the other thing that they do? What's the book one?
Audible,
yeah.
Look at us.
You guys will be happy to know that 98% of our listens are in the United States.
That's nice. Nice homegrown podcast.
Apparently in the United Kingdom takes up 2% also.
Shout out the United Kingdom, you know?
Yeah, we had fun in the United Kingdom, right, Vin?
Jeez. These places are like insane. We got less than 1% in Taiwan.
You know what's funny?
Cambodia listens to us apparently.
The Packers spent the entire week complaining that they had to go to London. And then
they forgot to actually play.
And then they just shockingly didn't show up. So maybe they didn't actually go.
Well, they did show up. We just game planned in the second half.
If it makes you feel any better, our punter's still hanging out there.
Yeah, whoops.
I was told from the beat reporters today that the Packers were caught off guard by the amount of bootlegs the Giants ran.
What?
I'm not kidding.
The only thing we run.
Danny, I'm not kidding. This is what was said on Sunday.
That's embarrassing. The whole coaching staff should get fired.
Wildly embarrassing. They have the worst defensive coordinator on the planet. He's never had a defense above like 25th in the league.
So that just goes to show you that they gave us no respect and didn't
None.
watch last week's game plan.
At
Didn't
all.
watch any film at us. Like all you have to do is watch every week's game plan. It's
They-
literally all we run.
You ran 2 Wildcat scripts, and it was like you had invented fire. It was Miami 2008 all over again. It's like
Yeah.
nobody knows what's going on.
So here's a little NFL media tweet from today. Most watched NFL international game of all time.
Yeah, but it's the first 2 winning teams.
So they average 5.5 million viewers, TV plus digital, which is up 55%, of course, from the Saints and the.
Well, yeah.
And digitally, 299,000 is the highest NFL Network international series game on record.
Impressive.
Those are some pretty impressive numbers, though.
Especially considering the West Coast at 6 a.m. there. So
That's gotta be great.
I guess.
It's
is
like
it
you just
though?
Wake up.
Like
Well-
the one day a week that you get to like sleep in.
Yeah, but we've even spoken to Adam Reich in the past and how great it is. You wake
Yeah.
up even at 9. Think about it. A 1 o'clock game is what? 11, 10?
10.
The 8 o'clock game is over. By the time we're going to bed,
That's the
they're first
coolest
having
part.
dinner.
Sunday Night Football, we're going to bed and their night just started.
Right. They had plenty of time to nap between the London game and
Not
their
gonna
game
lie, the best
because the
part
Rams
of,
didn't play till 4 o'clock. So
the best part of Sunday was winning at noon.
smiling and watching Red Zone all day because you don't have to worry about your team playing.
Yeah, that was a wonderful feeling. But good game, Vin. Me and
So-
Vin were talking during the game, and we
So-
were very casual and courteous to each other. Like,
Vin was
not shocking.
on the couch downstairs at the house with us.
Oh,
And Pops even said at halftime, he goes, "It's okay. Whole season we don't play till the second half."
He did say
Yeah.
that to me. He said, "Just remember, we're a second half team." And I was like, "Okay." Well, again,
The most surprising stat was
like okay,
0 points in the second half.
I don't. The
Can we
Giants.
just sign Wink for an lifetime, or what's his name? Sign the defense coordinator.
Yeah, Wink.
Just-
Wink.
Yeah.
The Giants go
Let's
down the
just
field, tie
sign
the
him
game
for
at
a
20.
lifetime deal right now and say you're not allowed to leave this building ever.
It's going to be interesting with him because he's been interviewing for coaching jobs the last couple of years, and us being one of them twice. So it's going to be interesting.
I mean,
but he's doing a fantastic job. Obviously, with all the injuries and who's out this week and who's out next week, who's banged up at this series, what cornerback is dead. It's really simply amazing job what the whole Giants coaching staff is doing, and they're a very scrappy team. Obviously, 4-1's nothing to scoff at, but there's a long way to go. I'm not going to get too crazy and excited, but it's really cool to see us actually winning games that we would lose in the past 5 years. So it's really cool, baby steps. And we'll
This
see.
was the tweet. The last 2 draft class are basically all injured.
Sounds about right. Except Thibodeau this week. Yeah.
It's basically they are all out.
Yeah. So it's next man up, and I know that's like one of those things. Yeah, of course it's next man up, but it's really just really interesting to see. It's really cool to see Daniel Jones. He's still far from perfect, but he's making things happen that everybody, the haters, and at times me and Steve have mentioned that you have to get things done on your own sometimes. And he played fantastic. Last week was the exact reason why I said don't cut Darius Slayton. He's still okay to good for what our roster has.
Well, I said it Sunday. He's making a catch. I was like, the best receiver Jones had his rookie year was Darius Slayton.
Right.
The guy he made the most chemistry with was Darius Slayton.
Right.
You also have to give Brian Daboll credit because
He played
I mean,
with a one-legged quarterback.
First of all, I apparently the Packers aren't aware that you're allowed to blitz. That's just
And that's
Quarterback-
the weird. And that's
Quarterback's got one leg, maybe blitz.
That's
once
the
in a
weirdest
while.
thing. If you watch everybody blitz the living crap out of us, that's the weird thing about it.
The other thing is the Packers are, I think, I'm gonna get these numbers confused, but I think they're second to the they're giving up the second least passing yards in the league, but they're like giving up the 7th or 8th most on crossing routes, and that's what the Giants ran the entire fucking second half.
Yeah,
literally, Vin was just
what did I say?
look,
the entire
he's going
game
down the middle. Look at that,
crossing route, the whole fucking time.
And Danny, remember back in the day, like last year,
It was Madden. It literally just Madden.
That used to be the Mets, the Giants thing. Oh, look, a guy down the middle going for 50 yards.
Yep, tight end. Oh, there you go. Yep.
Fast wide receiver, slant, boom, touchdown. Every
week. But yeah, it was good. It was very good. It was a good win, obviously. Not really going to sugarcoat it either way. This week's going to be another tough test, and hopefully we are in striking distance at halftime, make the right adjustments. Hopefully, obviously, it's Wink's revenge game against the Ravens. So that's going to be interesting to see. You would assume he knows inside and out everything Lamar does. Obviously, that's not going to stop Lamar completely, but I'm excited to see what we have lined up for a tough matchup in Lamar. Because he is the most athletic quarterback we'll be facing this season. So maybe other than Jalen Hurts twice.
Huh, that's a little different on the NHL thing. Sorry. No, it's weird because I have the hockey game on, and the boards have one of the. It's like the green screen,
right,
on the boards, but they had the down low camera that shows the individual ads that are normally there.
Oh, okay.
Like the wide camera has the green screen board, but the down low cameras don't. It's kind of weird.
Oh, okay.
The high screen's got the typical follow NHL, typical NHL ads, and then everything else is more local. But we are getting what I believe, and we'll probably find out Wednesday based on practice. The Lamar Jackson shadow should be playing in Landon Collins. Hey, don't figure out the defense, just watch that guy. I don't know if he'll play this week, but I think with the injuries and stuff, I think it may be hey, we got to throw you into the fire right now, buddy. Welcome back.
Yeah. So.
But I'll tell you this. There's 4 guys playing in contract year this year where I think you're going to have to look at who's going to be the least amount of a franchise tag to keep, which will probably be McKinney.
No, McKinney has another year.
Yeah, but this is going to be his holdout year, I think.
We'll cross that bridge because we're going to have to deal with Saquon and Daniel Jones.
And Dexter.
No, Dexter has another year, so we're fine. They took his 5th-year option. So...
Isn't this the 5th-year option?
No, next year's. Him and DJ were in the same draft class. So we got Dexter for another year.
Yeah, but again, they're still going. This is their holdout year. This means they're holding out.
Not everybody holds out, so I don't think Dexter's going to hold out.
We'll worry about it in June when we cut Kenny Galladay.
It's Galladay and a lot of things. So our cap space is not going to be the issue. So it's going to be interesting. In a couple weeks, it's going to be fun to debate. Do we keep Daniel Jones? Do we not keep Daniel Jones?
I was talking to our friend Anthony today, the guy that sits behind me.
Okay.
Spoke on the phone. And we said, as long as he's not looking for a big deal.
Which he shouldn't.
Of course. He's a middle of the pack quarterback this year, which is right where you could have, right where you want a playoff team quarterback. You want him in the middle there. Right? If he's looking for 10 to 15 over the next 3 or 4, okay.
Right.
I'm okay with that.
Right.
You just can't franchise tag him because you're not going to pay him over $20 million
of course.
to tag him.
Of course.
I'd rather tag Saquon if that's the scenario. If you're going
Yeah.
to tag one of them, it's Saquon.
Tiki mentioned it on Monday. Like, we can get Saquon for hopefully, well, it's ultimately up to Saquon, but the ideal thing for Saquon would be 3 to 4 years, 50 million, or even more of a top, like lower end of a contract. But obviously, that's got a complete low ball. So it's going to be interesting to see which Saquon, because obviously he's going to want his money, but we know big money running backs don't last. But Saquon's not one of those guys, that typical running back. So hopefully he doesn't get the Christian McCaffrey type money, or what's another big one, or Zeke type money, and maybe a little lower and more realistic. That's why Shane's got to have to work his magic with that.
That was an interesting name out today. When's the trade deadline?
It has to be coming up within the next couple of weeks.
Because November.
They said
1st.
they said they weren't looking to get rid of him.
McCaffrey.
Mm-hmm.
He's got too big of a. He just got that deal.
Yeah,
so
he has too much of a contract for him to get moved. Maybe DJ
Burns is
Moore.
Gonna get moved. DJ Moore and Burns are going to get moved, I think.
Maybe even Robbie. Didn't Robbie get an extension, but nothing crazy?
Believe so. But who wants him? He's such boomer bust type of player that it's not even worth making a trade for.
My favorite was.
I would take.
He's got a buyout at the end of the year.
Okay, see ya.
He's got a buyout, so it could be somebody. It could be a reasoning to trade for him if you feel like you need that third. You know where he could be successful because he's good with that go route. Kansas City.
Yeah, but I think Kansas City finally started using MVS more last night. You guys watched the game.
And Kelsey a couple times, huh?
Yeah, I got burned by that in our league.
Just a few.
But they finally was using MVS more down the field last night, which is very good to see.
I'm more disappointed that we can't talk about how much longer is the Panthers going to hold on to Matt Rule deal.
Oh, say that one more time.
Like, I was fully planning to be here and be like, there can't be much longer left in Matt Rule's time in Carolina.
No, he wasn't going to make
Once the tweets were coming out on Sunday, we knew Dead Man was walking.
But it should have been weeks ago that Dead Man was walking.
He probably shouldn't even have started the season. Yeah.
So,
is Ron Rivera the next one on the hot seat?
Did you hear Alex Smith yesterday?
He went off on him.
He ripped him.
Yeah, I didn't see the Alex Smith comments, but I saw what he said about Wentz yesterday.
Alex Smith just basically said,
you're a defensive coach. Why are you talking about your quarterback?
Right, and your quarterback's the fourth in the league in yards. He's not playing that bad, which is bullshit because they're always losing. But
see, that's the double-edged sword.
I'd be the fourth in the league too if I was throwing 50 times.
That's just guys looking at the stats and not actually watching the game.
But also, they can't run the ball, and their defense stinks.
Didn't they draft a quarterback?
Yes, they Howell from North Carolina. He must not be ready badly.
And they still have Taylor Heineke, I think.
Yeah, he
can't be much worse.
Heineke's 2 and Howell's 3, according to ESPN.
At least Heineke can run a little bit.
So,
but he's not
what's
good.
the over-under on how long until Baker becomes the next washed-up quarterback in Indianapolis?
Next season.
No. They need somebody who was actually good at one point. I don't think Baker qualifies.
Well, he had that one good year.
He had that one year. He beat the Jets. Remember when they on that Thursday night?
Oh, his rookie year. But I wasn't talking about that. But they did almost beat the Chiefs in 2020.
Yeah, they lost to Matt Moore.
That's right.
No, Chad Henne.
It was one of them. I confused them.
I still can't believe that's the only Michigan guy left from that team that I saved.
And then Mike Harden was dropped dead 3 seconds later.
What a jinx.
Honestly,
it was literally one of those where are they nows from that team, and it was Chad Henne, Kansas City Chiefs, and I'm just like, how is this guy the only one that still remains? That backup quarterback job is the greatest.
Yeah.
So
who was Peyton's backup? Jim Swordsy?
Let's talk about the Jets and and Packers this week. It's the first time
Oh,
the
man.
Jets and Giants are in, over 500 since 2015. So
Oh, man. Whew.
What is interesting this week?
Who would have
War
thought that the
World.
Packers would be the worst team that's playing the New York team in 2 weeks?
It is interesting. What's interesting is what the league, I guess, or the broadcast thinks of this, because they got Burkhardt and Greg Olson this week,
Oh no,
which is very interesting that they think this is going to be their top game.
that's bad.
It's interesting.
Well, the bye weeks do start this week, granted.
I know, but it's still, I think it's,
And
you
the
know,
Giants are on CBS.
then I guess.
Let's see.
Still
What
found
do
it
we get?
interesting.
I do find that interesting too, because it's really going to be a CBS week because CBS has the Bills and Chiefs at
Jets.
4:25.
Yeah. NASCAR at 4:00 on NBC, and bowling is following the Jets and Packers.
Yes.
They completely punted at the 4:25 start for our area. That will be the car ride home listening to that.
Yeah, that's usually at that time.
Well, for you.
And then big Sunday night game in Philly this week.
Yes.
It'll be
Eagles,
interesting to
Cowboys.
see.
That was the
I didn't see
easiest.
anything today. Who's
That
playing
was the
quarterback?
easiest bet on the Cowboys I have ever placed ever in a gambling the last year.
I had a good one. It was like the 3 teams.
What was the spread, Danny?
It was plus 5 Dallas.
Oh.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay,
Yeah,
thanks
for
for
sure.
free money. Thanks for free money. I sniffed that out like on like Tuesday, Wednesday. I even brought it up on the show last week. It was just like the Cowboys defense is way too good to be losing by 5 points to the Rams when they
The
only
Rams
have
aren't
Cooper
even
Kupp.
like.
Cooper Kupp, and it's basically a home game for the Cowboys.
The Rams can't block anybody.
Yeah, that's exactly why I did.
The league can't block anybody. Even like the first half of that game yesterday.
Oh yeah, that guy couldn't handle Crosby if his life depended on it.
They were college roommates. He said at one point.
Yeah,
Those
I
guys
know
were-
teammates. I didn't remember the.
Yeah, they were college roommates and hung out and like basically worked out together. It was like that scene in Invincible when the guy throws Mark Wahlberg to the ground and tells him
Right.
to look at his knuckles.
Yeah.
That's basically what it was. Mace Crosby just watched the guy's knuckles from when he threw him down in the room. So that was interesting. Who's on buys this week? Who do we got?
It's
You
the
know,
the
Lions, Titans, and someone else.
Oh, I can't go to opening night, Finn. It's Commanders Bears Thursday night. Gotta be on watch that.
I mean,
Yeah,
I think the NFL literally was like, it's Super Bowl. It's baseball playoff month. You might as well just put the shit.
right.
maybe. $1 billion for Bears and Commanders is a tough look.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But the next like 3 weeks are like that. Bears Commanders this week. Saints Cardinals next week.
That potentially could be good, but like, see, like I was
I think
saying,
is that Hopkins' first game?
no, I thought he was out for. Oh,
Because that's week 7.
No, yeah, I think it was 6 weeks that he was suspended.
oh, okay, so possibly.
Okay, week 8's not terrible. Ravens at Tampa.
Well, the
that's
way
good.
I look about this week's game, is it's gonna suck, but it's not gonna suck as bad as last week's game because Carson Wentz is a crazy person and will make plays good or bad
Carson
depending
Wentz
on
can
which
make this a
team you
game against.
root for. So just having him in this game will be fun.
I didn't even realize, Vin, the week we go to Giants and Lions, the Packers are Thursday night that week.
I did know that.
Yeah,
You're
of course
hosting
you knew
Tennessee.
Of course you knew that.
Well, I only knew it because it's the week I come back. I'm off that week.
Right, you're coming back from Green
Yeah,
Bay.
I'm off that week, and I'll be available to watch.
Again, I said it. I said it last week. I don't like. I don't mind. I could put it on my iPad. Fine, great, whatever. It's not like my team, but like
Oh boy.
the not being able to switch away. See ya.
Stephen Kwan takes him out.
Ugh.
Is that the guy they sold all the advertising space for in the second Major League movie?
I think so.
We traded for a guy from the Giants.
Oh, see ya.
The Giants? Not those Giants.
Marbles.
Love that guy.
You have no marbles. Hey, that's the guy that turned the season around, even though he went head first into the wall in the first play he made.
Right. And then he climbs on top of the wall.
Right. Later in the game, he climbs the wall because, that's just natural for all baseball players to climb on top of the wall.
Yeah, exactly.
Go on, Ahmed. This guy's going nuts This guy is bobbleheading in the dugout now. So back to football. Are we so Carter said it to Roberts. How can you complain about the Mets? We'll get into the Mets in a little bit. Because, first year make the playoffs, next year move forward in the playoffs. And Robert said the best. If you give me that with the Jets, it's one thing. I was talking to actually somebody at work today. It's crazy because the NFC East and the AFC East are the only two divisions with 3 500 teams over 500 at this point.
Oh. I mean, that's not crazy you just didn't think it would be the Jets. You thought it would be the Patriots, if anybody.
I didn't think they would have 3 500 teams at the end of the season. At any point in the season.
No, like I said, I don't think the Patriots are going to be bad. I think I could have said they were in 500, and the Dolphins and the Bills. It makes sense. But yeah, it's the Jets. It's surprising.
I don't know. Maybe going with the Bailey Zappa show for the rest of the season at this rate.
I think he's going to be back.
He was practicing last week.
Yeah.
So he'll be back. But the Jets, are we buying or are we still
I'm not buying
how they
it.
come out of Lambeau?
Good job by their defense knocking out Teddy Bridgewater. And the new concussion rule helped it out. Their running game, their weapons are really good. Their young weapons are really good. So Bryce Hall is awesome. But a couple more weeks.
The next 2 weeks, they're in Green Bay and in Denver. So 2 struggling teams.
Yeah.
Actually, in Green Bay, in Denver, hosting the Patriots. Hosting the Bills, bye week. So 4 games before the bye week.
Snacks is already complaining about Ron Darling. Get that on your Snacks bingo chart of the Yankees playoff games.
You know what's good about
Ron Darling when his favorite pitcher's on the mound?
The Yankees are in luck though because the theme today has been the good pitchers pitching bad, so they don't have to worry about that.
Unprovoked, he's an epic loser.
Who?
Ron Darling. Yep.
Well,
Jesus. Because that's the next home game. That makes sense.
Well, Verlander got beat up today. Max Fried got beat up today. So maybe Cal Quantrill will get beat up today. All the good pitchers pitching today.
Are the Jets doing individual Ring of Honor days?
Yes. They needed to sell tickets for 3 games.
There you go, JoJo.
Because I was going to say, didn't they do Revis a couple weeks ago?
No, it was Mangold.
Oh yeah, I know it was one of them, but they did him. They
It's
have the
Mangold,
brick.
D-Brick,
is
and him.
Brick shows the Patriot game on the 30th, and it looks like the Jets are going to black out for that game too.
For
Brick show.
Revis.
No, the Brick show.
Oh, D-Brick.
At least that's what the advertisement shows. The player in the jersey like that.
Yeah, they're due. It was weird. Well, not weird, but I was shocked that they wore white on Sunday. I know they do that once a year, but it's usually like week 1.
You try and do it when the sun's out earlier in the year. Try and
No,
bring
I
in
know.
that.
It's usually opening week, but nope.
That's why you see Miami in white a lot during the start.
Well,
not anymore.
that's true. That's why they did. They did with like what we did with the Cowboys.
Right. Or with the Cowboys trying to do the other people.
Well, yeah.
Let's face it, the whites are the Cowboy home jerseys.
Yeah.
Well, that's what that was the reason, was because the sun's on the other sideline.
Yeah, them and LSU.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
It doesn't even make any sense, but whatever. I like the Cowboy blue jerseys.
I do too. I don't know if it's because
they just never wear them. They don't exist.
Yeah, like the 2 times they wear it.
Yeah.
And I'm perfectly fine if they're going to wear that every year and moving forward at Giant Stadium. But I feel like they're going to start making it like the color rush. They'll have whatever prime time will be the color rush game. But I did see somebody on Twitter was like, I'm starting the petition to make the old school jerseys the permanent homes and the color rushes to be the permanent roads.
See, I love our regular jerseys. I love that we're wearing them twice a year. We get that taste, but it still stays special to us.
I think I would go back to the helmet. If anything, I'm bringing the helmet back somehow. Also, John Franco's sitting in the second row at Yankee Stadium.
He's got nothing better to do, shockingly.
Yeah. Yeah, his plans got canceled.
Well, he wasn't going to go to L.A.
Well, you never know.
Jesus Christ. So the spread on Thursday night is a half.
Yeah, it's pick 'em. Vegas was like, I don't give a shit. You guys are still gonna gamble at it. So
You idiots are gonna gamble. Yeah, Med, way to get back.
Med is a terrible base runner, but that worked out.
Are we gonna do?
You want to do the picks now? I guess while you're pulling it up.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at it. Might as well do football picks since we're talking football.
Excuse me.
All right. Who's winning this game?
Oh boy.
I'm giving the Bears at home.
I'm going Washington.
They're going all orange. Bears are wearing all orange this week.
Ooh, all right. I'll change my mind. Give me the Bears.
Bears are whipping out those orange helmets.
Give me the Bears. The Bears.
Oh God. I guess. Well, I'm sticking with it. I think I'm 3 weeks in a row betting against the Commanders. Like, I bet money on them, and it's working, so I'm sticking with it.
What an idiot! What an idiot!
You getting out at the plate.
Yeah, but go for the double play.
I don't know if that guy's fast. He might be. Sorry, we're watching the Yankee game as we always do. Donaldson.
Yeah, but that comes right at you with one out. You go for the double play. You end the inning. You're not worrying about anything. Now a base hit. You're 2 runs on a base hit now.
Oh yes, Andres Jimenez. Let's go, baby.
And he's 1 for 1 with a double.
Of course,
Here he goes. About to hit a bomb at Yankee Stadium.
I'm glad
I would love to see
well.
John Franco jump up if he hits a bomb.
You think he's rooting against the Yankees actively?
Oh, for sure. He's probably respectful because he's a nice guy, but deep down.
This guy has 15 career at bats with the bases loaded. I guarantee you he didn't get one of those hits as a Met. If he had any of them as a Met.
I'm shit. No, yeah, we suck with the bases loaded.
Yeah, that year we really did.
I think we suck with the bases.
You guys remember when we didn't have one for like 4 seasons and then Jason Bay hit 2 in one game?
Yeah, that was
in Pittsburgh. It took like 3 seasons to get one, and Jason Bay did it in like 3 innings.
Shocking.
Twice.
Fucking Jason Bay, honestly. Why even bring that up?
He hit more home runs in that hitting in Pittsburgh than he did in the home run derby in Pittsburgh. So,
Wasn't that the one that was like countries?
right, wasn't it in Pittsburgh where he hit 0?
Might have been Philly. Because I think Philly was the country one with like
No,
Bobby.
it was either Philly, it was either Pittsburgh or Detroit.
No, because Pittsburgh was the David Wright one.
Jason Bay home run derby. Let's see. 2005. Oh, in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
2005.
It wasn't 2005. It had to be 2006. I'm positive David Wright
2005, Century 21.
was.
Jason Bay hit 0 for Canada. Oh, never mind. This was in Detroit.
Okay. Pittsburgh was 2006, 100%.
Yes, because that was the year we had like 30 guys and
Correct. And David Wright hit a home run.
David Wright finished in second place in the home run derby.
Right. He hit, at the time, what was the record for most in a round.
All right, let's do picks and we'll talk about it.
Yeah,
later.
we're all over the place.
Oh, look at the next game. It's not like we're getting any better in these games. Niners.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm still taking that.
We're running that Jimmy G train all the way to the bank this offseason.
Yep.
He got him.
I'm going Pats. Jacoby Brissett is just giving games away left and right.
I'm taking the Browns still.
I'm gonna go with the Browns. I just don't trust Bailey Zappa. And also,
You don't have to. Belichick's on a game plan against Brissett.
and also, what Harris is out for multiple weeks.
Yeah, but Stevenson's doing just as good of a job.
Yeah, but we all know Belichick's gonna take some fifth string guy and make him the lead guy.
As much as I want to take the Jets, I'm going Green Bay.
Nope.
They're due to wake up.
I'm taking the Jets.
Oh boy.
We don't cover. I told this last week.
Jets are gonna cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Fine. I'll go Jets.
We don't cover.
Fine.
Jets will cover. Packers will win.
Yes.
Woof.
I'm going Jags.
Yeah, I wish this was the week. Well, at least we'll be at a game during all these 1 o'clock.
You want to laugh though, Steve. This is going to be the game they're going to show on the Red Zone highlights between commercials at the stadium on Sunday.
Consistently, because this game's going to be like crazy. Isn't the Jaguars the team the Colts can't beat ever?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna go Jaguars. Just like the Jaguars can't beat the Texans.
I think it's
That's in Jacksonville.
It's in Jacksonville. They can't beat them though.
I think
I've been enjoying watching Jacksonville on
I'm
the Red
taking
Zone.
them. Yeah, I'm taking them.
Trevor Lawrence is going to wake up this week.
And do we know if Taylor's playing this week or no?
We haven't heard anything yet. It's Tuesday.
I'm gonna assume he's in this week. Because they said he only didn't play last week because it was Thursday.
Right.
And they had 10 days, so got to assume he's back out there. It's the Vikings division to lose.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings as well. And we don't know the quarterback situation this week.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, Tyreek may be playing quarterback this week for them because he's just like, I'm just going to throw it and run after it and catch it myself. Oof.
I'm going Bengals.
They got to turn it around, right?
Yeah. They're just playing they're getting all the good games out of the way now. Teams now, so
you can see the offensive line improving too every week. So
right.
That was the biggest thing. Like they spent all that money on an offensive line and he kept getting hit. But it's like it takes time to gel.
Right.
I think against the Saints, I think I'm confident in taking that.
In New Orleans too, so you don't have to worry about weather.
Yeah.
The Ravens have lost their games by less than 14 points combined.
Yeah, pretty crazy.
And they said it Sunday night. Not Peters. Who's their other secondary guy? Humphrey?
Humphrey. Yeah.
He said it. He's like, I can't be complaining about the offense. I got to start worrying about the defense not giving up points in the second half.
Right.
Who would have thought that's the way the defensive players should think?
I'm going Giants because it's worked the last couple of weeks. But I think they cover 5. I think they cover 5 because I think it's a wink. It's a wink revenge game, like I mentioned 3 or 4 times. So
I'm going Ravens. I think I win by at least a touchdown.
We're due for one of those New York Giant losses that we've had.
For sure. For sure.
So I feel like this is going to be that one where we're going to be up like 2 points or a point, and Lamar's going to go for a big run and just be like, yeah.
100%.
And run it right into the end zone. Bucks, congratulations on winning by 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I think that's an easy one.
It's crazy. It's like the first time we ever seen the Steelers actually stink.
Well, since Mike Tomlin's taken over, yeah.
Even with what's his Cowher, they never,
Even with Cowher, yeah, they were never this bad.
like
What were they the year they drafted Roethlisberger?
they were
weren't-
okay because
Yeah,
he
he was
was
the
a
12th pick. I
mid-level
think,
pick.
Yeah. Obviously, they make the playoffs, but he was 12
he
or
was
13.
like the 10th pick.
It was 12 or 13, I think.
Yeah, they traded. I thought they traded down.
So it was the 2003 draft.
Oh, 04 draft.
No, 4 draft, that is correct. Or NFL draft. Let's see here.
They had to be pretty good. He walked right in and went to the playoffs.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he walked in because he got hurt. Because Maddox got hurt.
Yeah, but he
wasn't-
he played like shit, and they
So
went to the
hold on.
playoffs.
If my memory serves me correct, yeah, they made the playoffs and they lost to the Browns.
They had the 11th pick and they didn't trade
Home
up.
run, Yankees.
They had the 11th pick and did not trade up.
Okay, but the next
They
year,
went 6-10 in 2003.
and then like the next either a year or two later, they were 14-2, and
15-1 in
Right,
2004 with
but he lost.
Roethlisberger. 11-5 and won the Super Bowl.
won a Super Bowl.
But technically, he didn't win a Super Bowl.
No, he played like shit those years.
And then they went 8-8 the following year, and that's when Power
Tomlin.
called it
Yeah.
a career.
Yeah.
Tomlin takes over. Tomlin has been 10-6, 1-0 Rangers, 12-4, 9-7, 12-4, 12-4, 2 8-8 seasons. 3 8-8 seasons are his worst.
Yeah. He
And
never
he's
had a
missed the
losing record.
playoffs 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. He's been there since 2007. The PJ Walker show in Carolina.
I mean,
I
really
mean,
want
the
to
Rams-
take the points, but
Yeah,
they don't look like they
Rams
can do
finally
anything.
bounced back for the week.
This is their get healthy moment.
I think so.
The Geno Smith show.
Oh, I'm taking them.
2.5 at home.
Cardinals are a mess.
Yeah, Cardinals are a mess.
Not only 2.5 at home, but doesn't Call of Duty come out like this week?
No, that would be a good thing for the Seahawks. I don't know. Does it?
Modern Warfare 2. Release date of November 10th. No, that's not right.
No, I think it's later.
October 28th.
Yeah, it's
COD Modern Warfare 2.
Judge strikes out like a bum. Love it.
October 28th. So who are they playing that week? I'm taking. October 28th
All right.
is Halloween weekend. So Cardinals. Who are they playing Halloween weekend?
Bye week.
Vikings. Vikings by 1 billion.
Oh God. I'm taking the Bills against the Chiefs. Although at Arrowhead. Oh,
Yeah, I
it's
want to
gonna
take
be
the
a good
Bills, but I'm
game.
going Chiefs. How
Yeah.
often do you see that?
Them being home dogs.
Right.
Dogs. They didn't like the way they played. That camera guy is going to be angry in KC.
Yeah.
They got to do it for the camera guy.
Mm.
Are we firing? Is Josh McDaniels should he be fired right now?
No, I think it's just got to get.
No, I think he should be fired.
Well, he stinks.
I get
yes, but-
analytics say go for 2 in that situation, but you're on the road. You kick the extra point. You let your defense get you the ball back.
I don't know.
And the defense got the ball back. They were getting the ball back. It's not his fault that Hunter Renfrow and Devontae Adams decided to run into each other.
Maybe it is his fault. He called the play. I don't know. I'm taking the
Ooh.
Cowboys.
Yeah, I'm taking the boys too.
Although the Eagles have been a good bet for me too lately.
But they didn't cover last week.
They didn't. You're right.
Who's
Cost me.
quarterbacking the Cowboys is the question.
Cooper Rush.
It's gonna be Rush for one more week.
Yeah, it actually says here out already. They announced him out today. I didn't know that.
But I think Dallas covers within 3.
I'm going to take the Eagles to cover.
Okay.
At home. Woof.
Chargers. All the money on the Chargers.
Yeah, who's their backup QB anyway?
Who?
Broncos. Wilson.
Why? He's playing.
I thought he had surgery on his
Yeah,
shoulder.
but he had surgery to relieve pain.
Okay.
I love it. They found any excuse to get people off this guy's back. I love it.
You had to
I mean-
expect that because they did spend too much money on him.
Granted, they
Absolutely.
did. Brett Rippon
Mark Rippon's
What-
son.
from Boise State is their backup quarterback.
Okay.
He has 2 pass attempts this year. They did not go well.
Still taking the Chargers, regardless. Even if Russ plays.
He has a 64 career passing percentage.
Brett Rippon.
Yeah.
Good for him.
All those times Drew Lock banged his head on a wall. Let's see. What's the over-under in this game? $45.5.
It feels like an under game.
I'm going 40. I will be going with 40 on that one. Everybody, don't come to us when you lose all your money because of our picks. Just remember, Vin's fault. Because look what happened with Appalachian State. Started
It's true.
gambling on them. It's all been downhill since.
Well, luckily I stopped in time.
Well, you barely beat Troy. So don't worry. 3 more wins and you'll be in the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Can't wait. I guess it's time to just talk
Rip
about
the
it,
Band-Aid
right?
off.
Yeah, I guess we gotta just do it. Add another collapse to the history books, you know?
Listen, I've accepted it. Danny, you're on mute. You're talking to yourself.
Hashtag these Mets. What an awful.
An awful slogan, an awful.
That was like the perfect slogan for this, though.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I spiked the Riley towel into a garbage pail in the 8th inning when I left. I never want to see it again.
These Mets, though.
Rally towel or the Mets?
Both.
Yeah,
And I emphatically did both in that moment.
yeah, it was embarrassing. This last month was a complete joke.
As soon as people started gloating about winning the division because of how easy the month of September was going to be, you knew something was not going to be right.
Yep, guilty.
And then, regardless of everything they did against the Cubs and the fucking Nationals and all that, they had to win one game in Atlanta.
Yep.
Nothing. They played 2 playoff series and they went 1-5 in those playoff series.
Yep, got that right.
Just a fact.
Yep.
And I said this at the beginning of the season, and I don't know if this is what happened. It felt a little bit like what happened because there was a lot of talk of, I've never seen anything like this. These games are different. New York's the toughest place to play. Chris Bassick, go fuck yourself. So it seemed to me at the beginning that they went all in on a win now game plan with a roster that wasn't there yet. With a rest of the roster that wasn't there yet. Adding 3 position players that are all over the age of 32, I think, plus Max and Bassett, who are in their mid-30s and late 30s. Like, everything screamed, we're going for it now, when I don't think the rest of the team around it was ready. Personally. But then again, for 5 months they were, so I don't know.
You don't win 101 games and your team is not there yet. I'm sorry.
But there is that, like, Steven mentioned before that Evan said that the building of the thing, that is a thing.
But not when you have a team that's built for now.
But it can't
like you
be.
said, you have all these over 30-year-old pitchers that are all basically on 1-year contracts. Right?
It's like everybody that was important.
And you catch Diaz in the lightning of the bottle, you know he's not going to have a 49% strikeout rate.
No, nobody can do that again. Even if he has a 2.5 ERA, it won't be the same almost perfection.
But we wasted another opportunity to get to the ultimate goal, and it sucks.
The fact is, and I'm second guessing myself now. Everybody who hadn't been there before showed up in that series. Jeff showed up, Pete showed up, Nimmo showed up. They all showed up.
Listen, game 1 ended in the first inning when the Mets were up.
You don't get one hit.
Nobody showed up in game 3, but
I know.
In
Nimmo
game
had
1, the game ended in the first at bat for Pete. He took a foul ball that went down the line. And people were like, he's going. He almost had that one. And from that point on, he tried to hit a ball over the wall every time he went up there.
Right.
But then
that was
he looked at the slider right down the middle in that bat.
No, it was a fastball, I thought.
Or whatever it was.
It doesn't matter. It went down the plate and he looked at it.
Yeah.
That's what matters. And that's where it went downhill for Pete in that game. And once he did that, the rest of the team kind of just like.
But he had a home run. He had the only friggin' hit on Sunday.
Yeah.
Well, no, I'm not saying he played bad the rest of the series, but game 1 was lost at that moment because if he gets the rally going at that moment, we had guys on. We had opportunities early in game 1.
You're right, but Max.
You get the rallies going, you don't know what's going on the rest of that team.
But
Max shit the bed, unfortunately.
Yeah. And it's not something you could have predicted, but it's also, I was talking to my dad about this. It's like, did Max have a good season?
Yeah.
The answer is yes, but if we keep talking about being the East Coast Dodgers, the Dodgers don't care if you play well in the regular season. I know they won 111 games, but if they lose in the NLCS, the season was a failure. So, like, if we want to get to those, expectations, I guess that's kind of what it comes down to, is they finally got expectations. They finally were playing from ahead, and, fell apart. If this team won 94 games and was in the same position, because they would have been, they would have been the home team still, you have a completely different outlook on it.
Do you, though?
If they weren't in a division race the whole season, yeah, I think I would.
Yeah, but we
Because the
were,
Padres
so...
the Padres are good. Like
Yeah.
regardless of how many games they won, that's a good team.
No, they are a very good team. If it was like about time Grisham actually showed up and played, unfortunately, it was the worst fucking week. Of course, it was against us in the playoffs, but about time he showed up.
Come on, we're really good at giving that
But
one
like
guy.
Soto, I mean that's the other thing. It
always
was
the no
very
guy.
Mets because it was the no names. It was Austin Nola and Trent Grisham and that shortstop that isn't Tatis. It was those guys that killed you.
Right, who they're
You
already
know-
talking that Tatis is moving in the outfield next year because of this kid
Right.
at shortstop.
Right.
Oh, he's very good.
He's very great defensively, and he hit like average, which is really all you need.
You really will. It's literally the Ray Odongas of baseball.
Right.
The Ray Odongas way of baseball.
The guy had like a 700 OPS. It's like fine. It's like an average player.
Yeah.
It's just
Gold glove shortstop that gets on base when he needs to and plays well enough and
just
isn't a complete bum at all
Okay,
moments.
so let's not go in depth, but going into the off season, unfortunately, we have to talk about it. There's so many people, free agency. Like, what's the start of our list?
here's my mindset behind it. Okay. One, the Diaz thing scares me because for 3 years he was garbage until he's in a contract year.
But that's not true because he was a good pitcher last year, and he was actually great in the 2020 shortened season. They just didn't. We don't care about it.
So
his ERA was the same
about
in the 2020 season. But I get what you're saying. It's something to worry about.
It's something to worry about. We've seen it. How many guys have we given? How many times? Look at Familia, 15. Gave him a contract. Paid him after that. And then
in 16 he had
a
more
great year in
saves.
16, but fell apart after that.
Yeah.
Then just started falling apart. So do we want to give him something long-term again? Now, when it comes to Jake, I think the biggest factor is going to be, does Max call him and say, listen, opt in and let's do this. Let's go. You and me, 1 year. We're both on 1 year contracts.
Is Jake's opt in? He's not going to opt in. He already said he's going to opt out, but I don't think his opt in.
He's not opting out. Yeah, he's not opting in. There's no shot.
If Max is like, let's just opt in and let's do this 1 year deals.
Unfortunately, Max is a very big guy.
No, because his opt in would be 2 years. He would if he opts in this year, the next year is a club option, so it's basically opting in for 2 years.
Unfortunately, also Max is a union guy, the biggest union guy, so he's gonna want the guy to get as much money as possible, and he doesn't care.
So, but that's the thing.
It just sucks when he's gonna go to the Braves.
That kind of money. I don't think people are going to want to pay him that kind of money. That's my opinion.
I think you could do a similar deal that Scherzer got.
Yeah, I think he's going to get a very similar deal Max got.
So, okay, so now my next thing is Marte wants this kid from Miami, right?
That's not happening.
Yeah,
I don't think it's happening, but if it's on the table, who was the kid who had Tommy John surgery? Jake Allen? Is that his name?
Matt Allen.
Matt Allen, Mauricio. That's the conversation starter.
They can have Beatty if they can have Beatty.
No, Alvarez and Beatty are
no. If we're getting Sandy Alcantara,
they can have Vientos.
They can have Beatty. They can have all of them except Alvarez, basically, which is what they'd want. So it's not happening.
Because apparently there was a rumor that he was a Yankee around the trade deadline. That the Yankees were about to make a move for him, and Jordan Montgomery was supposed to be part of the move, but
no. You're getting the player mixed up.
Or Glaber, one of them.
No, they were not getting Sandy Alcantara. They were getting the other guy
from the Marlins.
Yeah, they were
Pablo Lopez.
Yeah, they weren't getting Alcantara. Because they would have had to give up Volpe because he's gonna win the Cy Young.
Pablo Lopez, I'll take too. He's very good.
Yeah, no, it was Lopez, not Alcantara.
If we're giving up Mauricio, Vientos, and Allen and
those
Beatty,
guys have no value.
Taking both of them.
Those guys have no value. Everybody besides Beatty has no value, I think. Unfortunately,
I think Vientos' value went down because of the way he played when he came up here.
Yeah, and Mauricio.
But also, I also put that a lot on Buck because he didn't play.
The way they handled the young guys coming up, I didn't like it all.
I hated it.
They gave them no chance.
I think Beatty was the only one they were going to look to give a chance to and play every day,
Yeah.
and then he unfortunately got hurt.
Vientos
But
should have
you
been up
can't-
in July.
Right. Vientos was the only one that deserved to play. And guess what? If you bring him up in July, you know what else is happening? You're
gets
not
his-
trading for Darren Ruff because you're basically bringing up a much younger Darren Ruff.
Or he gets his feet wet and actually has a chance to play.
Right. But he's the right-handed bat that you're putting in the lineup to say, hey, Pete, we're going to give you a DH day and let this kid go play first base for a day. Because he was the
But
first.
if he played the way he played, they would have went and got Darren Ruff anyway.
Well, yeah, if he was playing the way he was playing, yeah. But again, giving up 12 guys to get Darren Ruff is, would have been nice to have JD's 8 home runs in the second half of the season.
I mean, it's just Billy Epler did a bad job.
My question to you guys is, do you have to look at him as maybe it's time to move on from him?
I mean, they're not gonna because it's only 1 year, but yes,
Move on from who? I'm sorry.
Epler.
No, you're not getting rid of him
I-
for 101 win season.
I agree. I don't think he did a good job. I
I
think
don't
But
think so either.
if
the complete and honest
if
truth.
Jake walks, right? If we get a scenario where Jake and Bassett walk and you go into the season next year with Carrasco and Max as your 1-2,
We got problems.
he shouldn't make it to opening day.
Well, Bassett was a good pickup for most of the season too, but like Escobar had a good September, but that was really it.
Right.
Canna was fine. Like I not
Canna's
great.
still going to be
He's a
here.
good fourth outfielder. He's,
Yeah.
Canna's going to be a good fourth outfielder.
Marte
Guy who
was
could-
the
he
one-
could play every one.
Marte was the one good move he made. Because honestly,
And Max.
I'm
And
not
Max. You
I'm not
cannot-
giving him credit for Max. That's a Steve Cohen move. He
Well,
gets
yeah,
zero
that was
credit.
the Steven Matz pissed him
Right.
off, so he went out and was like,
It might,
Hey,
it's,
Max,
prob-
here's
it's
40 million.
probably unfair, but I don't give him a lot of credit for Max.
that little time frame he shouldn't get any credit for, because literally Cohen was like, hey, this guy's agent said he was signing here and he went somewhere else. And look at us now. Good for us
Well,
not getting
So
that jackass.
here's the thing with the offseason is just like we said, there's so many, like the entire bullpen is a free agent pretty much. So it's gonna look a lot different coming back next year.
Which is fine because your bullpen is always a coin flip of
Right.
how guys are going to perform. I wouldn't be against a cheap deal for Lugo unless
Same.
he's looking to make
Sure.
money. He can come back. He's always been a reliable.
But he has
has
I
bad
think
outings,
He's sick
but-
of it here. I think he's sick of it here.
I think he's sick of the fan base just getting on his shit all the time. Every time he has one bad outing, and then he pitches like a month great.
I would, and this is, I don't know. Beatty looked pretty good. Nolan Arenado is going to be a free agent. Is what I was going to say.
I
He's
don't
a
think he leaves.
He's
no,
going to
there's no way he leaves there.
He's going to opt out. Well, he's going to opt out. He has an opt in
Yeah.
his contract, so I think he'll opt out.
Opting out and leaving are two different things.
They are very different things. I agree, but it's an option.
Oh, I forgot. Walker's got a player option. I don't see him not. I don't see a scenario where he doesn't.
It's gonna
end up
be.
being a
It's
Met
gonna be
fan.
like. It's gonna be like Stroman last year.
So if you look,
Here you go. Here's your list.
he's probably
Here's
going
your
to
list
opt
of
out.
big
Walker.
name guys. Right. So I'm looking at Diaz and Ottavito as your two guys you got to sign in the bullpen. Because
Sure.
I think Ottavito was good enough to keep around.
That's tough. He could get a Aaron Loop contract because he kind of had a resurgent year, kind of back to his old days, and
Right. Trevor
might
Williams
be
is going to
tough.
be somebody's going to
I
want to
would
give
love
Trevor
to-
Williams time.
you're right. I would love to bring Trevor Williams back, but he
I
might
think
get
he
a
could
shot
get
to
paid
start
'cause-
somewhere.
Because he could be a spot starter, he could be a long guy, he could be an inning guy. He's got a lot of value, and he's one of those big value guys. Givens, good riddance. He was
He didn't pitch bad after he had a bad start, and then he got a couple good outings. And
I know Danny
I don't
wants
think
Trevor
he's
May
coming back.
back. I know Danny can't wait for Trevor.
I don't
May
think
to be
May's
back.
coming. I don't think May's coming back either. It's unfortunate. I do like Trevor, but it's probably
What a
not going to
shame.
be back.
What a shame.
Cookie will be back. So right now, rotation wise,
Cookie and Walker are the two
rotation-wise-
that I see coming back.
I don't see Walker coming back.
I
I think
don't-
it's gonna be a Stroman type deal.
yeah, I don't think
He's gonna get more money someplace else, and the Mets are like, okay, God bless.
Yeah. So you have Max, you have Carrasco,
Max Carrasco,
you have
Peterson,
Tyler McGill, and you have
McGill,
Peterson, right? Those
Peterson.
are guys. You have a back end of a rotation there, right?
Right.
Between those four guys.
The big thing is with that Allen kid, he still hasn't pitched.
He hasn't
I don't think
pitched
he
in
pitched in all.
no,
2
he hasn't
years.
pitched in 3 years. So he's
Yeah,
not an
no,
option.
you can't count him.
He's not an option.
Oh,
Unless he comes
like
into
Tommy
camp and actually blows
like-
you out of the
like
water. But I
Tommy
don't see
says,
it.
how about Anthony Rendon? Not Anthony Rendon. Rendon from the Giants. What's his first name?
Carlos Rendon.
Carlos Rendon.
Carlos Rendon, he's a free agent. There's a bunch of pitching free agents. 2023, MLB.
Because the way you look at it, like obviously, hopefully Jay comes back because we need them to compete. But I wouldn't mind getting like 3 guys at the price of DeGrom. I guess would be it.
All right, so you cross Brower off your list because nobody's going to sign him. You cross
Right.
David Price and you cross David Sale. Chris Sale.
Right.
Verlander's never leaving Houston.
Right.
Probably not.
Carlos Rendon is your best one. I can't see a scenario where Noah ends up coming
Absolutely
back here, wanting
not.
to be back here.
Kershaw and Wainwright's retiring. Kershaw's not going anywhere. That's kind of it.
Evaldi
No.
kind of has fallen off since his Cy Young. But depending on the number, could be a possibility. Be a back end guy. Greinke's insane. I don't want him.
Nola. Is that a club
Aaron
option?
Nola is an interesting name.
Is that a club option or a...
I see him staying there.
There's no way it's not a club option. It is a club option, so he's
okay? So he's staying,
right because they're gonna want that Nola.
He's for sure
Wheeler,
staying. Yeah.
1-2.
How many
Sonny
more
Gray's
years
got
does Wheeler have left? Just curious question.
I think
3.
he's done.
No, he signed a 5-year deal, I think. So I would say 3 more. 2 more.
Zach Wheeler contract had a 5-year contract.
After 2021, so this
He
is
has
this is
2
only his
years
second
left.
year. Yeah,
It's
it's
2 years.
That's a
left.
name
Excuse
that
me.
if Cohen was the owner of the Mets, he would have still be here.
He would have never
Correct.
went anywhere.
correct.
Is this
Corey-
kid an option?
Corey
Do you know?
Kluber had a nice year. Minaya is not bad.
No. We're the New York Mets.
Okay, so then it's bringing Bassett back.
What does that mean with the New York Mets? Who were you talking about there?
No, I mean the money wise now we could spend money. That would be a
We
very.
need a third starter. That's
I don't want Corey Kluber.
Okay, then it's bringing Bassett
If you're
back.
giving me Corey Kluber for cheap out of the bullpen, yes, fine. I'll
Fine,
trade me Trevor. Bring me Corey Kluber over Trevor May. There you go. You just replaced Trevor May.
He's
fine.
not a bullpen pitcher. He's a starter.
He is though, according to this. Oh no,
It's a starting pitcher right there.
Yeah, he's a starter.
some of us don't know how to read. Okay, jeez, Vin. This is the one I was looking at.
Corey Knable. Okay. He stinks too.
Actually, Kluber. The only way I want Kluber is a bullpen. guy.
David Robertson is out for this series
Oh,
because
yeah.
he got hurt celebrating Harper's home run.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Well, it's actually unbelievable.
And we could bring the Wilpons back to bring back Michael Wacha because I know how much he loves being.
Baseball, man. Baseball.
Michael Walker actually pitched pretty good this year.
It's gonna be interesting to see who signs Michael Conforto. Bless you.
Thank you.
Fulmer, I'll bring him in as a relief pitcher.
Johnny Cueto is free agent.
No thanks.
10 years too late.
I'll bring in Conforto.
Yeah, I don't hate that. If especially if Nemo doesn't come back. That
I
was
can't see a scenario that Nemo's not a Met.
that
for,
was
like,
such
the
a
rest of his life.
depressing. That was such a depressing post game for the Nemo.
He seemed like he was
God.
gone.
I
don't know.
I can't see him not being like, give me 100 years for $500,000 a year because that's the type of person he is.
Money, man.
He's a valuable player.
I hope he comes back.
Unless we sign Aaron Judge. That's about it.
Right.
Well, that-
we're not
yeah,
signing
that-
it. We're signing DeGrom and Judge. It doesn't matter.
Correct. And Carlos Rodon. We're bringing everybody in.
And Bassett.
And Arenado. That's it.
We'll let Cookie walk. Be like,
And,
hey,
when-
sorry,
and
Cookie.
since we have
Right.
Arenado now, we can trade.
We could trade Brett Beatty for
for
Alcantara.
Alcantara.
There
Yeah.
it is. That's the
See?
plan.
And we still lose the
We don't need
division
that
by
GM.
one
We got
game.
us right here.
And we still lose the division by one game.
Right.
Actually, we're gonna end up in third place because Philly's gonna get better.
Hashtag these Mets.
Because Philly's gonna get better, they're gonna end up in second place in the division.
This is for a later in the year conversation because everything in my mind right now is negative.
Oh yeah, same here.
They're not going to get anybody. It's going to be a significantly worse.
Jake's going to the
team.
Braves.
Jake's going to the Braves. Honestly, if he leaves, just go anywhere else.
I know.
Even if he
I
goes
know
to the
we're
Yankees.
over the whole Frank at Barstool thing, but he was hilarious the other morning when he got back. He's like, "You goddamn Braves, you're always winning everything. You're gonna have Jake for the next 300 years, winning a Cy Young every year." And I'm like, I don't think you're in for that long.
300 years. Yep.
Frank.
And it's funny too because as much as he hated walking into work Monday, he was still wearing his Dolphins hat and Mets jersey.
Of course.
And his what was he biting onto? His necklace?
He has like it's like a fucking eraser or something. I don't know what the hell it is.
It looked like one of those with the little arm thingies.
Yeah, that guy needs.
It was like balls.
He needs Jesus.
And the best was he went searching during the game on Sunday. I was
Yeah, I
scrolling through
saw.
reels, and he's like, "Those idiots are watching Stupid Dragons. I bet you they're watching Stupid Dragons instead of the Mets."
Yeah.
And he walked in on them. He goes, "I'm just making sure you're not watching the Stupid Dragons." And they're like, "No, we're trying to change the juju by getting away from you."
Yeah. Fucking dragons.
Yeah.
Frank was right.
He wasn't, but he was.
Exactly.
Right. He wasn't.
See, like that's a
he
snack.
wasn't until he was.
That's the snacks thing too.
Correct.
Snacks is like that too.
right. Snacks
Be
is
very
gonna be
anti
negative
and hope his team is
because
playing
in
well.
every sport you're gonna be right 29 times out of 30. Like there's only one team that wins, and if they don't win, then you're right.
Listen,
Like,
we were
he was
supposed to
the
get
only-
destroyed by the Packers.
He was the only guy I polled all my real Yankee fans today. He was the only one that said Guardians in 5. So
So I was
see what
talking to
happens.
Anthony and I asked him about it, and he said the same way I felt going into the year and the full year and all year. They are a playoff team, but they're not a World Series contending team.
right.
He thinks they could get by the Guardians, but it's going to probably go 5. He thinks it's going to go 5, but he doesn't see them getting past the Astros.
Right.
It
And that's
seems-
logical.
And
Like,
again, another Yankee fan that said the season went that way, and you could have looked at them as a World Series team if you don't trade Jordan Montgomery.
right.
Did Donaldson just get a hold of that one?
I think he did.
Did he?
Or he just got Taziel. Either way, not sure.
I'm pretty sure he did not get a home run, and he just got thrown out.
So he got Taziel.
That's how it's dealt. All right.
He might have.
Nobody knows.
He hit it to the short porch, and it might have went
I'm
out.
seeing it right now. That's a home run.
I think it was too.
Oh, do we have what was the kid's name?
Jeffrey
Jeffrey
Mayer.
Mayer.
We have another Jeffrey Mayer.
It's very close to Jeffrey Dahmer. Just saying.
Same time frame.
Correct.
I still couldn't believe that. Ooh, off the top of the wall.
It's off the top of the wall.
Oh, the beard guy. The beard guy almost Jeffrey Meyer that.
Well,
If it goes into the beer thing, it's a home run. The guy should have put the beer thing
Should
on better.
be a grand slam.
And he's 100% out at first. I don't know why they have to relook at that.
Oh,
But
that's that's
he's
off the
out.
wall.
Well, did he get tagged? Yeah.
yeah, he gets smacked in the ear.
It's tough. It's a tough
Oh.
one for old Donaldson.
That guy
It's
should get
he-
booed for not taking the ball away.
Yeah, you got to reach out and you got to be better.
That's on the beer guy. It's on the beer guy. That's just standing.
What do we think about the Yankees? I mean, I think they're going to win this series, but
They're gonna win this series and then compete against the Astros. And then
Look at this guy. He's like, I can't wait to have a job again tomorrow.
they're gonna ultimately lose to the Astros, but it's gonna be a classic battle like it always is.
I agree.
a lot of me, like, my soul wants that Guardian Seattle ALCS so badly because of just like those are the fun teams.
Right, so they're pointing at the wall like idiots. I
But if it hit the wall, it's a home run.
the
You
I
know what they
would
need
love
is yellow tape. They need that yellow line.
I would love the Guardians and the Mariners to make it, but it was clear today that there is a little bit of rust with the teams that won the division. The Braves got off to a slow start, almost came back. The Astros, same thing, but came back. Also, here's a weird question. Even if he doesn't get tagged out, he touched the first base coach. Isn't he out?
Whoops.
Like, you can't touch
Well,
the coach.
first off, you jog.
I really?
You're at
I
Yankee
didn't know that
Stadium.
rule.
You're in the smallest
like,
ballpark.
I know
you don't
if
jog to first base.
Because like it's a lot of times with a third base coach, like they'll physically stop you on a thing sometimes. Like Joey Cora has come really close to physically stopping people this year. And I know the coach can't touch the player. I wonder if that's the case on that. He's out anyway. It doesn't really matter, but it's just a
He
fun
got tagged, so it doesn't matter whether.
Correct.
Also, when he sees the ball getting thrown into second base, he should have stopped at first base and waited for them to make the call.
He did stop, but he was already halfway around the base.
Yeah, and then he should.
Yeah, he thought it was gone. That's why he gave the guy a high five.
Right, but also instead of making the turn and going,
it was too.
Once you see the ball in the air, turn around right there and go back to first base.
Well,
Don't wait for the shortstop to have the ball in his hand and then be like, "Oh, maybe I should get back."
Well, regardless,
this is
out.
Aaron Boone's fault. He let Josh Donald get away with lollygagging non-home runs on multiple occasions.
Gotcha.
Never put his foot down. Now it comes back to bite him.
Good job, Aaron Boone.
It's usually Aaron Boone's fault. Most things in life is Aaron Boone's fault. So, per Yankee fans.
It's true. A lot of things are Buck Showalter's fault, too, by the way. I don't know who's the one making the decisions, but everything they did.
I hope he wasn't listening to Eduardo Perez telling him to pitch Edwin Diaz for 3 innings the other night.
For 4 innings.
Oh, my God. It was 4 innings.
But even like the radio guys were confused about him being up in the 7th, but it also made sense because Grisham was coming up.
Correct.
And that was the guy who's been killing us for a game and a half already.
Right.
And then Soto and Machado were batters 2 and 3. So either he was getting the 3 outs in that inning.
Through the wickets.
He was either getting the 2 outs in that inning, or he was getting and facing them in the next inning, or he was facing them in that same inning. So it didn't really matter. Correct. But also it didn't make sense to have Diaz come out
after the lead.
After you're up, after you put up more runs.
Again, a lot of things I did not like that he put Diaz back out there in that 8th inning. I did not like the nonchalantness of this series that they just seem to overlook the Padres. You can't go into a series and tell me I'm going to try to not.
The team that was supposed to give the Dodgers a run for their money this year.
You can't go into this series and tell me I'm going to try to not pitch my best pitcher. You can't. I'm sorry.
At first, I liked the idea, but now obviously we got burned by it.
I didn't like it.
You can't even be mad at Jake because he pitched well on Saturday.
Jake did his job. I can't.
I would have liked to have Jake do his job Friday and be like, "Hey, Max,
but Max is able to pitch on shorter rest than Jake, so I think theoretically I like the idea."
I don't
like. Well, my mindset was you flip it, right? If you flip that idea, you have Jake pitch Friday, right? Now you're telling Max you're either going to pitch Saturday, or if we need you on Sunday, okay? Let's see what happens Friday. If that's the scenario, now you still could have Jake on game 1. If you win Saturday, if you win Friday and Saturday,
right?
Max is going game 1, Jake's going game 2. It's the same thing.
It's just it's not
but
even.
You're only getting, but in that case, you only get Jake for 1 outing.
We should have never looked forward to it.
The plan should never have been that. That's the thing. It should have always been.
Max,
if you want to pitch Max game 1, fine. But the plan is Max game 1, Jake game 2. Like that's I don't like that they even brought the plan out there, and I don't like that they put an outfielder out there who couldn't fucking throw.
Right.
Oh my God! When he threw that ball, when you got to the ball got hit to him, you were on second. You were running home basically.
Any ball to right field, you were taking an extra base, and they did it the entire time.
Right.
And they were looking to hit the ball to him. They weren't stupid.
And I think I was telling
And he was the best player in Game 1, by the way, for us.
like
Hitter.
me and Vin were talking about it on Friday night. It was like Darvish didn't pitch that great. We had chances on Darvish.
No,
it
the
was
first
just,
3 innings he was bad, and
then he
settled
finally
down.
settled
Correct.
in after it was game lights out. So
After it was 5-0, yeah, pretty much.
that was the frustrating part till Friday night. And then obviously Sunday we got one hit. So
But
hey, listen, they were smart. Bob Melvin was like, "Hey, Chris Bassett is a head case. Call timeout as much as you can."
technically,
Hey,
the
look at
same
what
thing
happened.
that happened in Game 1 happened in Game 2. Blake Snell walked 6 people and they scored 2 runs off of them.
right.
That's
You
not.
can't.
It's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Right. You built this offense, and the fact that Darren Ruff was even in the lineup.
Oh my god.
The fact that he made the postseason roster and then was in a lineup, like,
Right.
and your excuses, you don't want Alvarez to get shelled by Blake Snell.
Then why is he on a team? Because
Then
they have
why
3
does he
very
have a
good starting
roster
pitchers.
spot?
Why? Why
Right.
is he? His potential at bats were going to be against
Blake
Darvish,
Snell.
Blake Snell, Musgrove, or Josh Hader. What are we doing here?
Right.
Right. I'd rather him strike out in a playoff game against those guys now, where he can go watch tape and be like, all right, this is what I was doing. I was overthinking it. I was doing this. And guess what? Now, next year, when those guys come to face me here again, I'm going to fucking take them yard.
I hope so.
But that's the other thing. People are expecting Francisco Alvarez to come in here and be the next great hitting catcher of all time. When if you look at his numbers, he's not an average hitter.
He hit like 270 this year. It's not. No, he takes big cuts, and that's what it's going to be.
And he's a slow starter too.
Correct.
So in 3 years in the minors, he's a 274 hitter.
Right. That's not bad.
This year he was 234 in single A.
That's perfect for me
In
for a
AAA.
catcher. Are you kidding?
Yeah, but he also he hit 234 in AAA, but he didn't get a hit like the first week or something.
Right. Which again goes back to our point that we've been yelling about for the last month of why wasn't he in Oakland?
Yeah, I don't know.
Go play in Oakland. Go play 3 games in Oakland where
Yeah.
you're DHing.
Yeah.
Get your cuts.
Because the at bat he had against Kenley in Atlanta on Friday night, he was wildly overmatched, and he was just taking hacks. He was just swinging the whole night.
Right. And again,
And it
this
worked
goes
out
back-
eventually. He got it down. He became patient over the next week, but
again, it also turns back to, it kind of made you look back to 06. All year you're doing the same thing, right? Tie game at home. Who's in the game in 06, right? Billy Wagner in the game, tie game, 9th inning. Billy Wagner, home thing. Instead, what are they doing Game 7 against the Cardinals? Aaron Hellman comes out to pitch his 2nd inning, right? Now, Kelly Jansen's on the mound, 9th inning. You put Francis and you got Vogelbat sitting on the bench. You literally brought him in to be the lefty guy in that situation.
he needs to go too. He's going to be back because he has a cheap option. I don't want to see him anymore.
He needs to make some sort of usefulness to himself.
He's too passive. He's just trying to walk the whole time, and it's not.
I'd rather have Bartolo come up here and swing. He looks a lot better.
Next year, to be completely honest, I think Escobar's the DH. If things work out well, Escobar's the DH, and Beatty's the third baseman.
Don't hate that.
Right.
I'm not against it. Especially
Or
because now you have the switch hitting DH. Now you're not worrying about who's on the mound for
Correct.
it. Beatty plays third base, and if he needs a day off, you could have Vientos go in there.
And you buy out James McCann. He's not on the team. Or you don't buy him out, you cut him, whatever. He's not on the team next year.
Cut him, trade him. Someone's gonna want James McCann to be.
I think you can't cut him. I'm overthinking. You can't cut him because Alvarez has played a week. But you get halfway through spring, all the way through spring, and the kid looks like you think he's going to look. You cut him.
Right.
At the end of spring.
And Nito's your other guy. You're literally giving Nito a lifetime blank check.
Pretty
Like,
much.
whatever you want for the rest of your life.
That's your job, bro.
Well, welcome to the franchise, bro. And guess what? When you're too old to be the backup catcher, enjoy the bullpen catching job.
Right.
Because that guy's like 80, so we're going to need a new guy back there.
Yeah, Racanello's getting up there. I don't know. This is all. We got a long time to talk about this, but it was a depressing weekend.
Yeah.
More importantly, hockey is back. Football is up and going. I really was not expecting in August where my football team would keep me still happy in October
Yeah.
to get me to hockey. But hey, I'm going to keep riding this high on the Giants.
Sure, you
Right.
should.
What is this? We got the Ravens
Ravens, Jacksonville,
bye week.
bye week. Yeah. Sounds about right.
Come out of that 5-2.
That'd be nice. Yeah.
All right.
No. Sorry. It's Ravens at Jacksonville at Seahawks bye week. Home against the Texans and Lions. Thanksgiving against the Cowboys. Hey, crazier things have happened.
It's very favorable.
That's like 7-3.
Right.
Right.
I didn't count all
You
the math
figure you
correctly,
lose
but-
the first and the last of those.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go
Then
into
after the Cowboys, you get 10 days off to get prepared for
But
the Great
if
Commander.
you go into a Cowboy game, even with Dak, at whatever 6-2, I don't know whatever the numbers come out to be, you got a shot in that game.
I thought they played okay versus the Cowboys on that Monday night.
That was the
Just
one
ran out
game
of
where
gas.
you looked at the team and you said, "Why are we not tackling?"
Right. Well, all right. We'll talk about it on another night because I'll go on a tangent. But yeah, it's possible.
Had the ball with a chance to win the game. I mean, technically.
Right. We just didn't stop the run in the second half.
Correct.
It was the first game our defense didn't show up in the second half.
Right.
That's basically what it came down to.
Yep.
Alrighty, boys. Anything else?
No. Enjoy your playoffs. Hang in there,
Hockey
Met
season.
fans. Hockey season.
Rangers are
1-1.
tied at
1-1. Okay.
Tied at 1 between the second and third period.
Islanders open Thursday night.
Chris
They open-
Chelios throwing punches like he did best. Isles Thursday. A lot of home games this month, including the only Islander Ranger game.
Yeah,
on
that's
Long Island this year.
that's
The
stupid.
NHL really
They expanded their schedule so you play everybody, but they minimize the division games.
Like how MLB did.
Yeah, it's dumb.
yeah, basically how MLB. But still, doing it 3 games, you got to at least give you each 2 home games.
And I noticed that
Minimum.
they're done playing the Rangers in
December.
right?
December.
That's
Dumb.
stupid.
Well, we did a bunch of years ago against Pittsburgh, and then we swept them in the playoffs, so it worked out pretty well.
Anyway.
Well, that's the end, boys.
See ya
10 years. Here's to another billion.
Cheers.
later.